Hello again folks, welcome back to another video today. So it's been a while since I've done a video like this. I've been pretty occupied with my Kings of Judah series. By the way, I hope you folks are watching that and enjoying that series. But like I said, I've been pretty occupied with that series. I just wanted to kind of get it going before I start on any, I guess you could say, normal videos like this. There's a reason for that. Like I said, there's more to it than that. I'm gonna upload a update video pretty soon describing the reason for the delay in videos like this pretty soon. But I'm here right now, folks, and that video will come out soon. But for now, let's just get right into this video, and I'm pretty excited to talk about this topic. And you know, this topic really hurts me a lot because I hold this kind of deeply, I guess you could say, to my heart. I mean, it's a big part of my life, it's a big part of me growing up, and you folks will soon see why. So today, I want to talk about cartoons. More specifically, since you see the title of the video, why modern cartoons suck. And I think the reason for that, well actually I believe there's two reasons for that, and that's what I want to dive into today, folks, in this video. But before we do that, I think we need to answer two questions first, folks. I think the first question we need to answer is, or address, is what is a cartoon? And the second question is, what is the purpose of a cartoon? Well, let's start with the first question first. What is a cartoon? So I looked up on the dictionary, what is a cartoon? A cartoon is basically a simple drawing showing the features of its subjects in a humorously exaggerated way. So basically, folks, cartoons, basically, they're not real, obviously. They're just drawings, but they're meant to show scenarios and people exaggerated in an exaggerated way, in a hilarious way to be exact. So I think this definition of what a cartoon is kind of answers the second question as well. What is the purpose of a cartoon? Well, according to the dictionary, cartoons are supposed to be humorous because they show scenarios in a humorously exaggerated way. I mean, if we're being honest and legit here, that is the purpose of a cartoon, folks. It's not real. It's just a simple drawing, and it's made to make you laugh. It's hilarious. That is the general purpose of a cartoon, is to make you laugh. And, you know, in my opinion, folks, I'll just add this too. Sometimes, in my opinion, cartoons are meant to teach kids, and even sometimes adults, important life lessons. For example, I think we should look back at the golden age of cartoons, and maybe we'll look at one kind of, I guess you could say, modern-ish day cartoon that I think is really awesome, or maybe two of them. I mean, just take a look back real quick, folks. I don't know if you, because I grew up in the late 2000s, no, not late 2000s, early 2000s, excuse me, folks, and I still watch cartoons until the late 2000s. And that's the era I grew up with cartoons. But the cartoons I normally watched when I was a kid, and I still watch them today, are cartoons like Looney Tunes and Tom and Jerry. Those are my two favorite cartoons of all time. And the reason for that is basically Looney Tunes, if we're going to talk about that first, Looney Tunes was just absolutely hilarious. And I mean, as we just found out and learned, that cartoons are supposed to be exaggerated in a hilarious and funny way. And so Looney Tunes did an absolutely excellent job of doing that. I mean, here, just take this scene with Yosemite Sam and Bugs Bunny.
I'll keel-haul you for this. Yoo-hoo, Mr. Pirate! Oh, Redbeard!
Or how about Tom and Jerry, folks? Oh man, don't get me started with Tom and Jerry. There are so many moments in Tom and Jerry that just make me laugh. For this scene right here, now I know this scene is probably going to make you think that I'm racist and I think racist things like this are funny. But if you really ask me, folks, I really don't see how something like this is racist. And what I'm going to be showing right now is the one and only Mammy Two Shoes.
Man, that sounds like a burglar prowling around in that parlor. looking for trouble, Bugler Man. Here I come.
I mean, honestly, folks, I don't know about you, but the way Mammy Two Shoes talks like that is just absolutely hilarious to me. I mean, look, I understand, look, I'm not trying to be racist, and maybe it was racist at the time, but now I don't find that racist nowadays, folks. In my opinion, I find that absolutely hilarious, because the thing is, black people or African Americans, sometimes they actually do talk like that, and it's hilarious. And I'm not trying to make fun of them, I think it's just funny. I don't think that's wrong for them to do that. That's just the way they talk sometimes, and it's hilarious. That's one reason why I love Tom and Jerry so much. And that's the reason why I love cartoons back then a lot as a whole. Because back then, cartoons like Looney Tunes and Tom and Jerry, they came from a time when people weren't offended by absolutely everything. And we could just joke around and laugh to our life's content. We could just make fun of stuff and just have a good time and laugh. We're not trying to hurt anybody. It's just funny, folks. And that's the purpose of a cartoon. But on a more serious note, folks, if they're not trying to be funny and they're trying to be serious, then they can teach us some life lessons. Oh, but hold on, real quick. There's even some modern cartoons, I think, that do a good job of, if they don't even teach life lessons, well, maybe actually they do sometimes. Take Ed and Eddie, for example. The point of Ed and Eddie is because there's three boys, they're trying to think of schemes so they can get those ever-juicy jawbreakers. But, deep down, they show how a friendship should work between three guys. I mean, they genuinely had a really good friendship, and they showed how to hold on to that and keep that. Of course, the show did have its funny moments. Let's not forget that. That's another reason why I love the show so much. Like in this scene right here.
Fine. We mow her out and charge her.
Eddie, you look that way! We're coming, Sarah!
Ed! Ed!
Don't tell Mom, Sarah! Here I come! Everything is okay! I see you now! That wasn't you, Sarah!
Ed?
Sarah!
Oh!
Hello, Eddie.
Where's Double D?
Present.
But besides that, folks, Ed and Eddie showed how a genuine friendship looked like between three guys. And even SpongeBob has some absolutely hilarious scenes in it, and it's a modern day cartoon, but I think SpongeBob still does a phenomenal job of what a cartoon should be doing. Anyways, folks, back to the more serious note. If cartoons aren't trying to be funny, at least back then, cartoons actually gave you some important life lessons. Let's go back to Tom and Jerry real quick. In some certain scenarios, Tom and Jerry need to put aside their differences so they can work together to achieve a common goal. Or sometimes Jerry just feels sorry for Tom and he wants to help him out. Or sometimes the other way around. There's a Christmas episode of Tom and Jerry where Tom actually manages to kick Jerry out of the house in the freezing cold snow, and Tom actually feels sorry for Jerry, and he brings him back inside the house to get him warm and gives him a candy cane at the end. Now that's just so sweet and awesome, folks. See, the life lesson there is, even though you may not like this other person, or you might be sworn enemies, sometimes you need to put aside your differences, and, sometimes you actually do show genuine care for that person, and you really should. And Tom and Jerry does a great job of showcasing that. Tom and Jerry definitely shows you some important life lessons on shows you how a friendship can form in the most inconvenient ways or in the most inconvenient of people, even though they might be sworn enemies. What about Looney Tunes? And don't even get me started with Looney Tunes. The way Looney Tunes shows off some important life lessons is in its patriotism. This is, again, folks, you gotta remember, these cartoons come from a time period where nobody was offended by everything, and it really taught you how to love America and taught you how to be proud to be an American. It taught kids that a lot. There's an episode with Porky Pig, and he falls asleep, and Uncle Sam teaches him very valuable lessons about America. That's just such a beautiful episode, folks. America is just the greatest nation on earth, and Looney Tunes once in a while showcased that. They were proud that they were Americans. They taught you how to be proud to be an American, and you should be proud to live in this country. There's nothing wrong with that, folks. That's why I loved these old cartoons so much. Whether it's because they were funny or they taught you valuable life lessons, and in a sense they were moral. They were morally good and decent. These cartoons were great, folks. The same can't be said nowadays for modern day cartoons, and here's where we get to the nasty parts of this video, I guess you could say, folks. So, modern cartoons. Here comes the next question. Why do modern cartoons suck now? Well, there's a few reasons why, but the most basic and easy one is that modern cartoons nowadays, they just aren't funny. Really, folks, the slapkick humor in cartoons now just really is not the same it used to be, like it was in Looney Tunes or Tom and Jerry or Ed and Eddie, or even SpongeBob, for that matter. Even SpongeBob, in my opinion, nowadays, it's kind of losing its flair. Back when SpongeBob first came out, it was awesome. Because it really showcased kind of the same humor that Looney Tunes and Tom and Jerry had. It wasn't gory, but it was genuinely funny, and it didn't go overboard like a lot of these cartoons nowadays do. I mean, just take a look at the intro of The Amazing World of Gumball. And if you watch The Amazing World of Gumball, you look at all the characters, they just look absolutely weird. The main characters, they're not really funny. I don't get any really important life lessons. Whenever they're trying to be serious, I feel nothing, folks, because it means nothing. By the time they're trying to be serious and share a life lesson, it's too late, and it's not the right time, and they don't talk the way they should when they're trying to say something important. It's just pathetic, folks. And folks, I'm going to get into some stuff that's really disgusting right now. Modern cartoons nowadays, another reason why they suck is because of how woke and how immoral they are nowadays. Adventure Time is one example. I believe this is from the movie, the Adventure Time movie. This was the final episode, I guess you could call it as well. Kind of close to the end of the film, Princess Bubblegum, I don't know how I know these characters' names, but Princess Bubblegum and Marceline the vampire, yeah, they're two girls. Yeah, I know. I'm not sure if you folks want to know what comes next, but I gotta say it, because this is another reason why modern cartoons suck now. Close to the end of the film, Princess Bubblegum and Marceline, they share a kiss with each other. I'm gonna stop it, and I'm not gonna play it for you folks, because if there are any kids watching this, I'm not gonna put you through this torture right now. But you see what I mean, folks? You get the idea? This is why modern cartoons suck, and this is why I would never let my kids, if I do eventually have some, never watch these modern day cartoons, because they're absolutely disgusting and immoral. It's just really heartbreaking and pathetic, folks. Not only that, but they're just not funny. Adventure Time was a show I genuinely did not enjoy, the same as The Amazing World of Gumball. They just were weird, pathetic, didn't make sense, humor was overboard, either that or where there was no good humor at all. And let's talk about one more cartoon, Rick and Morty. Now, I understand this is a cartoon that's generated genuinely more towards adult audiences, but you gotta realize this thing airs on Cartoon Network on like the adult time or adult channel of Cartoon Network or something. But let me make one thing clear, folks. I guarantee you there are thousands of kids who probably watch this cartoon every day. And if I'm being even more genuinely honest, there's a skin of Rick Sanchez in this Fortnite store, in the Battle Pass. Not the Fortnite store, but the Battle Pass currently right now. Rick Sanchez's skin is there, which leads me to believe that kids, no doubt, probably watch this cartoon all the time. And let me just say right off the bat, folks, Rick and Morty is not a cartoon your kids should be watching, or anybody should be watching. It's not funny, and it's got to be one of the most disgusting cartoons I've ever seen. It's probably right up there next to Family Guy, that animated series that I will never watch. It is genuinely that more disgusting, folks. The amount of cursing in Rick and Morty is just extreme. I've hardly ever seen anything like it. But the thing that really, really flips me off the most about Rick and Morty is just how often they make fun of God in that show. I'm gonna play a few scenarios. I'm gonna play maybe 1 or 2 scenes, but after that, I'm done, folks. I can't listen to any more of that. I don't want to put you guys through that.
Please, God in heaven, please, God, oh Lord, hear my prayers. Yes! You, God! Yes, I did it! There is no God in your face! Guess who just discovered a new element? You think you could do that, Morty? You think anyone but me could do that ever in a billion years? Do you think if God existed, he could do it? The answer is no. If God exists, it's f***ing me! Yes,
So you see what I mean, folks? If you haven't gotten the message yet, this is why modern day cartoons suck now. They're not funny. The exaggerated humor has gone way overboard. The slack kick is too much. It's not funny. The cartoons nowadays, they are immoral. They don't teach you life lessons. And they are anti-patriotic. I don't see any cartoons that are, like, you know, represent how proud you should be to be an American. And the seventh and most important reason is that they constantly make fun of God all the time. And folks, I cannot stand that. It's really hit me so hard, and it's gotten to the point where, you know, we've turned off our TV now. We don't even have Netflix anymore, and that's probably a good thing, because it would be better not to watch any of these disgusting and immoral cartoons nowadays. So that is the reason why modern cartoons nowadays suck. And if you want my opinion, folks, stay away from them and buy some DVDs or Blu-ray discs of Looney Tunes, Tom and Jerry, Ed and Eddie, SpongeBob, the earlier seasons, not the later seasons. Or watch some Johnny Bravo or Dexter's Laboratory. Cartoons like that, folks. Cartoons like from the 90s or the 40s and 50s. Please, folks, do yourself a favor, and please do your kids a favor. Let them watch some real classic cartoons you know that are safe to watch, and that'll teach your kids how to laugh at certain things without having to worry about offending people, and also it'll teach them some life lessons, folks. You take my word for that. I've learned actually a few things from these cartoons, which is surprising, but you know what? It's the truth, and you won't regret it. But anyways, folks, I hope you enjoyed this video. Leave a like and comment if you did. Subscribe, join the Eyes today, and I'll see you folks in the next video, whatever I make. God bless you all.